Tomorrow I'm exhibiting at a book fair in London, so in today's video I'm going to bring you along with me. We've got to pick the books that we're going to take to exhibit, and then tomorrow we'll head into London at 6 a.m, scout for some books that our customers might be looking for, and also hopefully sell some books as well. So last month, as you might have seen, I was at the York Book Fair, and the problem there was I felt like I didn't take enough books with me, and I got there to unpack my stand and I thought we were a bit low on books. To the York Fair, I took 4 of these boxes. So this time I've got 6 boxes, and do you know, we might even take a 7th with us as well. So we'll start packing those up. I'll talk you through what we're adding as we go, and we'll see how we get on. There are 2 things I definitely want to take, but they might sell before we get to the fair. There's this beautiful set of Jane Austen's works here with, as you can see, each of the novels bound in a different colour. And we also have up on the top shelf here a beautiful set of the Iliad printed by Foley of Glasgow. Now I put both of those books in a little Instagram preview I made for the fair, and there's people interested in each of them, so those 2 might actually sell now, maybe today, in the next hour or so, which will get us off to a really good start. So we'll see if those come through. I'm going to put them to one side for now, and we'll get with packing everything else. So one thing I really love that I bought recently is this set of ancient classics for English readers. It was published in the 19th century, and across all these volumes you have Homer, Virgil, Horace, Sophocles, Herodotus, everyone you could possibly want, both from the Latin and Greek traditions, translated into English. Here's the first volume here of ancient classics. This contains the Iliad and the Odyssey. And you can see here, ancient classics for English readers. And there's a wonderful sort of mission statement at the start of this book. It is proposed to give in these little volumes some such introduction to the great writers of Greece and Rome as may open to those who have not received a classical education, which is useful for people like me. And it turns out actually before I pack them, I have another job I need to do, which is I hadn't printed any of my information slips that go inside all the books that I sell. So I've just done that for all the books that I've acquired recently, so they're printed off. So now we can select them and pack them ready for the book fair. So that's history pretty well covered. So we'll pack some literature next. I've got these 2 Charles Dickens first editions that are in these lovely deluxe publishers bindings. The Pickwick Papers is in a full Morocco binding, and Nickleby's in half Morocco. So we'll pack those as well. And to those we're going to add, we can't add our leather-bound Jane Austen set, but I do also have this beautiful Jane Austen set in cloth bindings. So we'll add that to the trunks or to the cases as well. So with those 2 categories, sort of history and literature, I think pretty well taken care of. That'll be a few shelves of each now. We'll add some 20th century books. So we're going to take some Tolkien books from the sort of Tolkien display here, and also we have a first edition of The Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett, and also this beautifully illustrated edition of A Christmas Carol. And on the Tolkien side, I think we'll just take pretty much all of these. So we've got the first India paper edition of Lord of the Rings, that's 1969, the lovely Folio Society one in the elephant hide binding, Finn and Hengist, the first UK edition, Poems and Stories, we've got the Silmarillion, Tom Bombadil, Unfinished Tales, Smith, Wood & Major, so we've got a really nice selection. So we'll add those, and we'll have a sort of 20th century / mainly Tolkien shelf, but we're a bit short on 20th century books at the moment, so that's what it will have to be. Down here on this shelf we have our final batch of books. This is a beautiful little book of hours. It's printed on vellum. You can see the lovely ripples of the vellum here. It's a Hardwin book of hours. Germain and Jules Hardwin printed books of hours in Paris in the early 16th century. And you can see here that this is one of theirs, and that it's actually inscribed in gilt by Robert Curzon. and it's just beautifully printed, but also decorated. So you have the lovely hand rubricated initials there. So that's a lovely little prayer book. We've got a lovely Latin Bible bound in vellum, two prayer books, Parisian prayer books in similar bindings. This is really, really beautiful, a box housing Livre de Dévotion de ma mère, the devotional books of my mother. And when you open it up, it's really rather sweet because you have, in this volume here, the New Testament beautifully bound with clasps, and here the Imitation of Christ, also beautifully bound in a matching binding with clasps. So two absolutely stunning devotional works in there. And the very last thing that we're going to pack is this copy of The Secret History that you might have seen in a video a few weeks ago. It's the first edition, and if I show you here, it's actually signed by Donna Tartt in 1992, and that's because a wonderful friend of mine who bought the book is going to pick it up from the book fair tomorrow, so we can't forget that. So it's now late afternoon at the office. You can see the sun going down in the gardens, and we're packed and ready to go. It turned out to only be 4 boxes of books in the end, but I think we do definitely have enough stuff for the fair. We've got some really, really nice things, lots of sets of works which actually pack a bit more tightly, which is why it's just the 4 boxes. So I'll see you in the morning when I'm up at the crack of dawn. I need to be in London at 7 a.m, so I'll be leaving home before 6. So we'll look forward to that, the things we do for book hunting and book selling. So yeah, I'll catch you in the morning. Good morning. So it's 5:45 a.m. I'm actually a bit late heading off. I should have headed off about 15 minutes ago to get into town. But sorry, just getting in the car. But my daughter's been awake for the last, I don't know, hour and a half. So my wife and I have been dealing with that. Thankfully, she managed to get him off to sleep, so we can now head into London. Should hopefully be there not too long after 7 and start getting set up and looking for some books. So we've just got to the book fair and parked up. I've unloaded everything inside. I don't think there's anything left in the car, so it's time to go in, get set up and get looking for some books. So we're just about ready to set up for the fair, and we've had some positive news, which is that beautiful Jane Austen set and the Iliad have sold. So that gets the fair off to a really, really good start, and we'll see what the rest of the day brings. So it's the afternoon now at the fair, and I've just stepped outside for some lunch, but I wanted to run you through how we've got on this morning. Firstly, I'll show you some books that we bought at the fair that we found there. There's some beautiful bindings here and a really lovely children's book. This is a copy of Lyric Love that's in a beautiful binding done by John Ramage that I just fell in love with. Really, really intricate Art Nouveau design. A similar style on this copy of Love in the Valley by George Meredith. This binding's by Hatchards, but very arts and crafts again. This book we haven't been able to work out exactly yet, but it's Horace's Art of Poetry. It's a privately printed translation into English that was done by a schoolmaster called Arthur Hill, who ran Bruce Castle School in London. Printed for private circulation only, and this copy is inscribed by him, as you can see here, and it's also got this photograph of him that's also signed, and it's been bound in this lovely Morocco binding by Bickers. So we're trying to work out exactly what all that means, but it's really, really beautiful and seems quite a rare book. And the last one that I'll show you is a Babar et ses enfants. This is not just a very, very sweet book, of course, but when we have a look inside, we can see something really wonderful. which is that it's signed by Laurent de Brunhoff with a little drawing of Babar as well. So that is absolutely wonderful. That's what we found at the fair. In terms of sales, we sold a beautiful set of Mitford's History of Greece, and also a beautiful volume of Shakespeare in red Morocco. I'll lay over photographs of those because I probably don't have video from inside the fair. Very, very difficult to film at a book fair because obviously we're on our feet all the time, talking to customers. But that's what we've done so far. If the video ends here, then that's what we've managed to do for the day, which is find some really lovely books and sell a couple of lovely books as well. Well, we weren't quite finished, so I'm finishing off this video in the car at the end of the fair. I'm all packed up and ready to head back from London to Oxfordshire. But we just have a wonderful sale late in the day, a first edition of Frances Holston Burnett's Little Princess. Really beautiful book. I love it so much. So I'm so glad somebody was able to snap it up. So just want to finish by saying thank you to everyone that came to visit the fair. So great to meet you if you came. I'll put down below where I'm exhibiting next. And for everyone else, those of you further afield, I'll see you next week for another video.